There comes a time in every superhero's career where he or she has to do the unthinkable, the unlikely, the uncanny even, and you have a unique proposition. There are some times where a superhero needs to team up with another hero, form an alliance, go against the evil that just threatens the world, and become stronger for it. But there are some times, and in certain circumstances, where a hero will have to team up with the most unthinkable, most despicable, most unbelievable villain that they could ever control. And in fact, sometimes they have to go way above and beyond that and call upon a wild card who they know they can't control, but someone who can help them in the long run. Greetings, geeks and nerds. I'm Lady Universe and White Nerdy, and yes, we are taking a look at Batman and Harley Quinn from 2017, the reunion of Kevin Conroy and Lauren Lester. Originally, they did want to bring back veteran actor Arlene Sorkin for the role as Harley Quinn. Unfortunately, Miss Sorkin retired back in either 2015 or 2014, so unfortunately there was no getting her back. They didn't even rely upon Tara Strong, but instead a different voice actress, Michelle Roach, who we'll talk more about later and how she did in the role as Harley Quinn. But for a lot of people, especially for me especially, when you think about Harley Quinn, you can only think about Arlene Sorkin. Some people think about Arlene and Tara Strong, but most people really try to focus on Arlene Sorkin, and of course a lot of other people focus on the Harley Quinn shows, the Harley Quinn show's voice actress. And yeah, any and all are acceptable. But here, I was really kind of worried because I'm like, Michelle Lawrence? Or Michelle Rock? Really? That or Melissa Rock, I mean. If like really that's who we're using? We're using Melissa Rock? I okay. And this was also brought to us by the one and only Paul no. This is brought to us by Bruce Timm and Jim Krieg. And this really is a love letter that Bruce Timm wanted to do. And it really is done in the same animated series style, but it has a twist that we have never seen coming, that it's more of a comedic movie, more so than anything else. Is it a bad thing? No, but for most Batman fans out there that's probably watching this, they're probably thinking, Batman and comedy does not go very well together. Unless you're talking about the Adam West 66 series. But, yes, I'm willing to admit that I'm actually a fan of this, even though it does have some flaws, but, yep, I still am a fan of this. Why do I say that? And is this one of the great you might well say send-offs of Kevin Conroy? Long before his last career in Crisis on Infinite Earths? Well, let's find out. So let's dive into Batman and Harley Quinn and see if Batman and Nightwing are capable of handling the wild card of Harley Quinn. This is my review of Batman and Harley Quinn. We open up to a Star Lab that's being attacked by Poison Ivy and a character I don't ever think I talked about before, the Floronic Man, actually a Swamp Thing villain. Created by Alan Moore, Dr. Jason Woodrue was a scientist very similar to Alex Holland, and in fact, in the Alan Moore Swamp Thing run, he basically was a student of Alex Holland, studying everything for him, and wanted to figure out what Alex Holland had discovered, basically the key to immortality. That in fact, Jason Woodrue recreated the same experiment that turned Alex Holland into the Swamp Thing. But he did it wrong, thus he merged with the plant life there and becoming the Floronic Man, a longtime enemy of the Swamp Thing. To basically give him a long run, Jason Woodrue kinda went crazy after the experiment that happened on him, blamed Alex Holland for what happened to him, but then in the long and short of it, he basically became his own man. And as we all know, he wanted to find the key to immortality, and thus he decided to do so by copying Alex Holland's formula, which unfortunately did not go very well as it bested on him like it did Alex Holland. But Jason Woodrue had something that nobody else has on Alex Holland. He's able to fight the dude by using the chainsaw. Oh, I'm not kidding. He goes after Alex Holland's girlfriend in the series, goes after her with a chainsaw, and then tried to fight against Swamp Thing with the said chainsaw. Dude was a mastermind, but he also was crazy, so he was a crazy mastermind, I guess. The long and short of it, Swamp Thing drove him crazy, made him see the error of his ways, and thus shoo the Pharaonic Man out of his swamp forever and away from the green that he was tarnishing. And thus Jason Woodrow ran away and was never seen again, except brought up a few times in DC Comics history, as well as the DC Universe and the DCAU. And thus he's here and creating havoc and destroying things inside of Starlab because he's after something for both him and Poison Ivy so they can try to save the world. More on that later. Batman and Nightwing are called upon the job to basically figure out what's going on and what Ivy and the Pharaonic Man are after. And like I just explained, yes, they're after the Swamp Thing's formula. They want to use the experiment that turned Swamp Alex Holland into the Swamp Thing, but more on Swamp Thing in just a bit, and basically recreate the formula so they can resave the Earth by immortality.
I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it.
Except there's one problem. Batman doesn't know where Poison Ivy and the Pharaonic Man went, and also he had no idea how to track down Poison Ivy, but Nightwing gives him an idea. Why not use Harley? So Nightwing goes out on his own personal mission to try to see if he can track down where Harley Quinn is. But unfortunately, aside from getting a few people interested in dating her, nobody's seen her. That isn't until, luck or fate would have it, he stumbled across a restaurant named Super Babes, where it just so happened to be a parody of Hooters, and he finds Harley.
One Power Girl Jumbo Combo, one Black Canary leg and thigh with coleslaw. Gonna lose that hand, pudding.
I gotta say, I love what Bruce Timm did with Harley. She's trying to change her life around for the better, especially after she broke up with the Joker. Trying to forget about a life of crime, trying to forget the torment he put her through. It's actually a nice touch. That is until she tangles with Nightwing, who basically won't leave her alone, even though she's trying to change her life around for the better, as the two of them fight and get into one hell of a pretty big fracas. As Harley, technically in a sense, kidnaps Grayson, basically holding him hostage, and basically to sell him back to Batman for something that she wants. As Bruce Timm finally gave people what they wanted, I guess, 'cause he gives people a cheesecake scene. But he just doesn't stop there.
Okay now. Don't be getting any funny ideas.
Too late. It's funny. I always kind of thought you...
Gee, let me think. Sure. Oh, oh.
I'm not kidding with the Ace Ventura clips. They boinked. No telling how much and how hard, but these two fucked. I mean, there's gotta be a legitimate good reason why they call you Dick Grayson. Right, Grayson? Right? I mean, Dick's not just a surname, is it, buddy? I mean, look at all the women that you had. Barbara Gordon, Starfire, Firebird. I mean, you had plenty of girlfriends over the years, Mr. Grayson. And then you finally went and boinked the Joker's girlfriend. Yeah. Grade A material for you, buddy boy, because now you're fucked. Batman thinks the idea of teaming up with Harley Quinn is ridiculous because he knows what Quinn is capable of. But Quinn says, well, have you really got a chance to lose against me? So they head to an old bar where they're gonna talk to somebody named Hedgie, who Harley Quinn is associated with. But in order for him to talk, she needs to do something for him. As Hedgie will help Harley, as long as she does some karaoke. Oh, yes, he had Harley Quinn do karaoke. Yep, Melissa Rauch sings Blondie. That's not a joke, she actually does that, although I would prefer it if she sang this. Meanwhile, what is Pharaonic Man's and Ivy's plan? Well, they want to protect the life forms of Gotham, by changing them into plant hybrids. Yes, they want to turn all of Gotham City into plant hybrids so they can have full control over them. But there's one problem. The experiment that they were creating isn't perfect. As in order to fully perfect the formula, they have to go back to where Swamp Thing was created. They have to go to the swamps of Louisiana in order to protect the formula. It's until Batman and Nightwing and Harley Quinn basically turn up and ruin the day for the two of them as they try to create more plant life, but Batman and Nightwing thwart them. As Ivy and Jason need to basically escape from the Gotham City Police Department, and the best way to do that is by getting drugged up on a sweet potato.
I'm sorry. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm not kidding either. They eat a drugged up sweet potato, and then they end up going into basically the green. There is one scene I really like is with Harley and Nightwing talking to each other, and Harley explains how everything gone to hell, but she's thankful for Nightwing for basically giving her the second chance she deserved. As Batman prepares the Batwing in order to fly into the swamps of Louisiana, but he tells Harley she's staying behind.
I can't trust you.
But I thought. We.
You're the walking definition of loose cannon, Harley. For all I know, you might.
I love that moment where Batman tells Harley off because he knows her. He's so much in his mind that he knows everything she'll do. But unfortunately, and of course, because Batman's the world's greatest detective and he knows how Harley works, yep, he has predicted Harley walks him right into it. Yes, indeed, Harley Quinn trapped Batman and Nightwing, basically trapping them in so that way there that they could never escape and that she could tell Poison Ivy all her plans. But of course, Pammy's not happy when she found out that Harley turned against her, and thus freeing the Caped Crusaders away from it because Harley knows how Ivy works, since because they're friends, or they possibly dated in this universe. As thanks to the power of Harley being, well, Harvey, and I get the power of love that Ivy has for her, she can't go through the evil plan, and thus she teams up with Batman and Nightwing and her to stop Jason. But as Jason and Ivy are fighting against each other, guess who suddenly just so happens to show up? That's right, Swamp Thing! Look, I know that Swamp Thing was brought up, but I just thought at first that it was just a cute little cameo to the Alan Moore DC Vertigo universe. I'm like, oh, you know, that's cute because that's where Jason Woodrow first popped up with an Alan Moore Swamp Thing. It's like, oh, you know, that's, you know, a cute little nod and everything. No. They brought Swamp Thing into this movie. Why? Because it makes the cameo with him in Harley Quinn Season 3 worth it? I think. Or because they wanted to give Swamp Thing more recognition because he definitely deserves it? Because he's a character that is really, really awesome, but unfortunately so many people don't know how to write him, so he comes off as strange and unusual? Maybe Bruce Timm is a big fan of Swamp Thing. I don't know. He shows up, tells Jason Woodrow to fuck off, and then he just disappears right back into the swamps of Louisiana, and we never hear from him again. Oh, I'm so not kidding either. He just comes in, tells Jason Woodrow to stop what he's doing, to fuck off with what he's doing, and stay out of the green and his swamps, and he just disappears right back into the marsh. But the day is saved, and Harley decides to do something with her degree and basically being a psychiatrist, and that is putting people into basically the scenario of Wipeout the TV show. As this is not only funny, I can also see Harley Quinn being sued by a bunch of people, especially sued for malpractice, after this sort of therapy does not help any of her patients. And so that was Batman and Harley Quinn, and it does have some flaws in it, I won't lie, but It's still a really damn good movie. The only flaw that I have with it is that they try to establish a lot more in this universe, like Jason Woodrue and especially Swamp Thing, two characters that shouldn't really be in this film, but yet they are. If this movie was just about Harley kind of going after Poison Ivy and, trying to stop her before she did something worse, that'd be fine. But introducing the Pharaonic Man and not giving us any information behind him, yeah, it makes the movie really kind of more like, because a lot of people that are probably going to watch this are going to be Batman the Animated Series fans, and that's it. This is rated PG-13, by the way, but it should more have been rated R because there's a lot of sexual jokes, innuendos, and stuff like that. So really, this is right, not for kids, so to speak, thing. But I did love Melissa Rock, I'm sorry, as Harley. She really captured her own Harley Quinn, a Harley that just done with the life that she had in the past and wants to look forward into doing something new. And for Melissa, she captured that really damn well. And plus, it was so nice to hear Lauren Lester and Kevin Conroy back in the recording booth, the dynamic duo back once again and doing it. And it was just really fun. And also, I know that a lot of people don't think that Kevin can do comedy, but he really excels here. And that, especially later on, where he took more of a serious approach, especially when Harley was trying to say, like, you and Nightwing made me, and that's when he told her off because of how much that she's in his mind, and he's like, and he spouts things off like, you would just turn on me because it's the third day, or because the wind off the Pacific Ocean aren't blowing just the right way. It's like, that's how much in his head that Harley is by this point, and that was just creative on Bruce Timm's part, so good on you there. So I really do recommend Batman and Harley Quinn. It's, in its own style, is unique in its own right, and especially for the late and great Kevin Conroy, it is by far not a masterpiece. And even if you don't like raunchy comedies like this, I get it. But at least still check it out to see if it's worth it. If it tweaked up the thing for Swamp Thing and a Pharaonic Man, it would be a lot better. But trust me, as it is, it's a gem on its own. That is why my Funko Pop rating of Batman and Harley Quinn gets a nummy from One Piece, because it stands on its own, it's a unique gem, and all things all around, despite the flaws that it might have, it still holds up on its own. So Batman and Harley Quinn get a Funko Pop rating of a Nami. And yeah, I know, I gotta review Alan Moore's Swamp Thing at some point. Maybe this October. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an upload. Follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below in case you want to see like more behind the scenes stuff and what I'm doing. And tell me what you thought about Batman and Harley Quinn in the comment down below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And how did you feel about Melissa Rock as Harley Quinn? Do you think she's good? Do you think she's bad? It could be better. Let me know in the meantime, anyways. Sorry about that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. My reading the birds. I want you to keep on. And until next time, guys, and as always, take care.